Hello guys, welcome back over here to the scented little corner of the internet called My World of Fragrance. I look a little bit washed out today, so ignore that, bear with me. I have 6 sultry fragrances that I'd like to share with you today that I will be wearing over this holiday period, this holiday season. I do wear different fragrances every day, so you know, there's no such thing as a signature, not really. Hopefully you're gonna find something in here that awakens your interest. As usual, my fragrances are unisex. They're made for everyone. Anyone can wear these fragrances. But first, I'd like to talk about today's sponsor, which is Ana Luisa jewelry. I've worked with these guys multiple times before. It's my favorite affordable jewelry brand. It's just such an easy go-to. So these earrings are ones that I absolutely love. They're actually a new find. They roll right in. It's just one piece. And I've been loving them because if you're a person who likes to sleep with your jewelry, they won't bother you at all. You roll around, there's no actual needle that sticks into your head. And I also have this cuff, which I absolutely love. It looks so cool and edgy. I actually am so bad with cuffs, I lose them all the time. So I needed to get a nice replacement cuff. This one is really nice and simple as well. You can get 20% off your order if you use my code. It's down in the description and it'll also be up on the screen. And I also wanted to show you one of my favorite pieces from them, which is this pair of earrings. I wear these so much that I had to get an extra pair because I just like having them in my bag. They come with this eco-friendly packaging, which I love. You can reuse these pouches that they come in. And so I carry my perfume, a lippy, these earrings, and I'm good to go. I can switch from day to night, no matter what day it is. So good for that transition from day to night. Back to the perfumes. This first fragrance I'm gonna share with you is one that I'm bringing along with me on my trip. I'm gonna go home to Denmark to my family. And this is one of my favorite ways to wear tuberose when it becomes cold and dark and heavy outside. This is by Histoires de Parfums. It is Tubéreuse Animale. So it is Histoires de Parfums' version of an animalic tuberose. If you know me, you know I like a tuberose with interest. That is, I'm less of a fresh tuberose person or like a pretty tuberose. I'm more of a tuberose has some edge. And I think that is just due to my whole very unisex approach to perfumery. I don't necessarily want to smell like a pretty flower. I want to smell like an edgy flower. And so Animale is, what is it in here that makes it animalic? So there's Immortelle in here. Favorite ingredients. It's one of those love or hate ingredients. It's the everlasting flower that's yellow, it's dried up, and it can come off a little bit animalic, a little bit pissy, definitely an edgy ingredient. So the Immortelle in this one is what brings forward this animalicness in the tuberose. So the tuberose is played with in a way that is really cool. There are some other fragrances out there that are a little bit similar to this one, but the entire concoction of bringing a tuberose and surrounding it such a, you know, heady, intoxicating, generally seen as super power femme flower and making it kind of dirty, making it kind of alternative, using it in contrast with something that isn't so pretty and so femme, if you will, I think is what makes this fragrance super interesting. They have other tuberoses in this line, and so they do have that fresher tuberose, the greener tuberose, the prettier tuberose, but my one of choice is the Animale. And when we're talking about sensual fragrances, fragrances that awaken something that's primal in you and really attracts in that sense, I think animalics are just so fun to play with. So yes, long-lasting fragrance, I would say. It is very powerful at first, then lays really close to the skin, and I like that this lays close because when you're dealing with an animalic, not everyone is gonna like it. So you may not want it to be a super duper projector. But yeah. The next fragrance is one that I am bringing along because I actually just want to finish this. I've been trying to finish this fragrance for the longest time and I love it. I love this fragrance, but I'm also the kind of person who easily gets bored and then I want to move on to other things. But Orchidée Vanille by Cleef and Arpels is such a vanilla favorite out there. And the reason why I think, oh, it's so good. It's orchid and it's vanilla. Such a killer combination. If you like your vanillic fragrances but would like something unique about that vanilla, it's not a vanilla that has turned into cake. It's a vanilla that's actually combined with a sweet floral. It's just so good, so addictive, and it turns very, very sweet. So I think that's the reason why I'm at a stage where I'm like, just finish, you know, just finish the bottle and move on to other ones. But this is still one of those fragrances that I just always recommend to people because it's such an easy wear. It is such an easily likable fragrance. And whether you're into the super sweet or not, you're most likely going to enjoy this fragrance. You will at least like it when you sniff it. Wearing it is another thing. But yeah, Orchidée Vanille. Hopefully I'll be done with that. Bit of a surprise to some of you. Those of you who are very familiar with it, it is Lutens Daim Blond. And this, to me, is sensual and erotic in such an understated way. It's almost a savory fragrance, so it smells like peach fuzz, it smells like suede. It is, for me, the best executed suede out there because, oh, it's just genius. This combination of that peach, but it's not like a sweet, juicy peach. It's like the peach fuzz, and then with this white, creamy suede. This fragrance is just so beautiful, and enough has been said about this one because it is one of those cult perfumes that fragrance lovers just want to dissect and understand and get deeper with. Daim Blond is a fragrance that I'll always have in my collection, so I need to figure out what I'm gonna do because it's running low. And this is a fragrance that whispers, so when it comes to being erotic and attractive and all of that, it does so in such a subtle way that I think a lot of you people out there who aren't looking for something that is so pow, bam, power in your face, a lot of the time we, you know, kind of get distracted by this whole wanting to have power, wanting to have something different, wanting to get noticed, that we forget about the subtleties of the art as well. So this is just a beautifully stunning, very subtle suede fragrance with that peach fuzz, and I wear it. I find it suits me as a woman, and I've also, you know, I also know men who wear this fragrance as well. So depending on how you like your things, I think that this is a nice juxtaposition to maybe wearing a very powerful fragrance one day and then wearing something that is so subtly erotic on another day. As we go in and out between subtlety and power is by Eris Parfums, a wonderful vintage inspired perfume line. This is called Mxxx, and just based on the ingredients in this fragrance, it is something. This has a lovely ambergris in the base of it, and you know they've used the absolute best ingredients. Barbara, who created this line, worked with Antoine Lee, and he's just one of those very experimental perfumers. This fragrance has so many ingredients in it that the ones that you can pinpoint are difficult to do so. For me, I get this rum-like cacao in this fragrance, and the cacao is slightly bitter. I'm not the person on YouTube who's gonna tell you that I want to smell like chocolate every single day or dessert, but this is such a subtle dusting of this dark cacao on top of everything. Like I said, there are loads and loads of ingredients in this one. I believe this is a 25% concentration. So it's a power fragrance, right? 50 ml. It lays close to skin, but by power, I mean it's got so much going on. It is that vintage inspired, but it does not smell like a vintage perfume. It's a modern perfume that is just, it's like after dark, after hours. You're at an after party where you know, there are people dancing in cages, there's somebody making out in the corner, somebody else is sweating over there, somebody else is doing something naughty over there. It's like one of those where all these different things are happening, all these different elements. And there's ambergris in the base, which I love. I definitely pick up on that ambergris-esque base. But yeah, this is one that has to be tried. It is very difficult to understand what it smells like just based off of descriptions. It's resinous, it's got some patchouli-esqueness to it as well, a little bit incensey. It's one of those. Lots and lots of things happening here and there, and each time you wear it, you pick up on the different things. But yeah, Mxxx. Sultry. My next fragrance, I never hear anyone ever talk about. And Comme des Garçons is one of my favorite brands. It is my favorite, one of my favorite top 3 commercial brands out there. Whenever somebody wants to smell different, distinctive, cool, and not break the bank entirely, I say go to Comme des Garçons. Especially with males, I feel like, who are trying to stand out and not wear that typical cologne, typical whatever that everybody else is wearing. I send them to Comme des Garçons because we're gonna add some incense, we're gonna add some depthy woods, we're gonna add something cool in there. So Luxe Champaca is, this is so sexy. I don't know if you've tried Champaca, but Champaca is a tropical floral, tropical flower. It's yellow, it has such a distinctive scent, and Champaca is another rare ingredient. I'm always seeking out these rare ingredients. They pop out to me, they pop out to my nose. So this is Champaca sexified, amplified, with again, kind of like Champaca made spicy and peppery and musky. And this would smell wonderful if you spray it in your hair as well. If you've got long hair and you do that swoosh, turn around and you smell like this, it is so intoxicating. Yeah, don't know why nobody talks about it. Probably because it could be a little bit difficult to find. But if you enjoy Champaca and you know you like Champaca, this is a must try. My last fragrance is Bois Rose Muscade, and this is by, so this has a long name, La Closerie des Parfums. I believe it's an old brand because it says 1972 that's been revived again. We're seeing a lot of this. I don't know how people do it. If you want to start a brand, you kind of go into the archives and be like, that one's shut down, I might revive it. For some reason, everyone is so obsessed with heritage. I think there are certain brands, wink wink, that have sold this whole having a heritage makes your brand better than other brands, which is, you know, I could start my brand tomorrow and it could be better than all the other brands put together. Who knows, right? Doesn't matter who you used to create for, but I digress. So La Closerie des Parfums, this is from their rose range. They have different ranges. They have an oud range as well. They have an iris range. From the rose range, we have a dirty rose. This is rose that is depthy, woody, spicy. I believe it's nutmeg that they said is in the forefront of this fragrance. But to me, that nutmeg actually smells like cumin. It has this, this sexual energy, dirty, skanky side to it. And this fragrance is my replacement to Le Labo's Rose 31. I don't purchase from Le Labo anymore. So if you are a fan of the Rose by Le Labo, a dirty, skanky rose, ooh, try out this one. It's also more affordable, so that's another win. Very powerful, beautiful ingredients, wonderful, great brand that you're supporting as well. And yeah, so happy with this one. I'm gonna talk a lot more about this one because so many people love that Le Labo Rose, but this is even better. It's even more complex, okay? Try them side by side anyways if you don't care about brand ethics and all that. If you do care about brand ethics, then just go for this. It's amazing because this fragrance manages to be like pretty on one side and ugly on the other. It's like Beauty and the Beast put together. Beauty and the Beast doing it. I don't know. You got your rose that is, yeah, it's so beautiful, so blooming, so red, and then you got this ooh, this dark side to the rose all at the same time. So yeah, I find this one to be really, really interesting and sultry. I hope that you enjoyed today's selection. Which fragrances are your sultriest? Please share with us down below. Your secret is safe with us in this little community, our little bubble. We won't tell anyone. Remember, you can get a great deal on Ana Luisa jewelry right in time for Christmas shipping. I'm thinking, fingers crossed, they've got some great affordable jewelry, and I will see you next time. Bye.